So today we have a Sharp Twin Famicom that a good friend of mine dropped off, and it's got a couple issues that we're going to see if we can fix today. Let's go ahead and load up a cartridge here. And as you can see, the video part of it is okay, but the sound is just awful. It's really scratchy and distorted, and that usually points to audio capacitors have gone bad. Now that's unfortunately not the only problem with this console. If we load a disc here, let's see what happens. Well, already you can hear the drive, and it's not making any good noises. Again, we have the audio going on, and yeah, it's not loading the disc. And I know the disc is good. I've tried it on my personal Twin Famicom and it worked great, so we're going to have to take a look at the disc drive and the capacitors. So let's see if we can fix it. Opening the console isn't too bad. Sharp was nice to us, and they didn't use any special screws. Just a standard Phillips head screwdriver will get you into this thing. As I'm taking this apart, I can actually see a little bit of the belt right in here. So not only it's not the belt is stretched, the belt is completely broken. Oh, it's brittle. It's just falling apart in my fingers. That's clearly the problem with the disk drive. Here are the three main parts we're going to be working on. We've got the disk drive here, we've got the power supply here, and we've got the motherboard here. Now, we probably don't have to replace the caps on the power supply or the disk drive, but we're going to anyway, because if we have one bad capacitor problem, a good chance they've all gone out or they're ready to go out. So while we've got it taken apart, we're going to go ahead and replace them all. So we can see the spools where the belt goes around, and there's a bunch of residue from the old belt left on it. So before we replace the caps in this, we're going to go ahead and clean all of that off. Okay, and there it is. It goes around this white spindle here and around this little brass or gold spindle. So now let's put the disk drive back together. To align the disk head, it's a pretty simple procedure. What you want to do is you want to turn this wheel counterclockwise until the head is all the way back in its home position. I don't know if you heard that click, but that'll tell us that it's there. And then turn it back clockwise until it's hard to turn. And what that does is that moves this part back to its home position, and we can align the spindle here. There's a notch that should line up with a notch in the metal cam right below it, and that's how you know that you're in the home position. So line those up, loosen this little screw right here. It takes a 1.5 millimeter Allen key. Loosen it a little, move the spindle so that it's like this, and then tighten it back up. If you're really lucky, it'll just work after that. Now, that very rarely happens, so what you'll have to do is after you get the whole thing back together, and we haven't done that yet because I just want to show it on video to make it nice and easy. So this little screw right here, again, it's a 1.5 millimeter Allen. You'll have to adjust that generally counterclockwise, just 1/8 of a turn or so each time. Test it. If it needs adjustment, again, another 1/8 of a turn, test it, and keep going until it starts reading. And the second player controller, the microphone, right here. And all we had to do to fix that was clean off these strips right here, and clean off this right here, these metal contacts that go on the strips. So we've done that. We're going to put it back together, and hopefully that's going to make it work just fine. Okay, we've gone ahead and reassembled it. We cleaned a bunch of the dust out that was in it, which is something you should always do when you're opening up a console. So now we're going to go ahead and test it out. There we go, boots right up, sounds great. We can test the microphone here. Yep, that's coming through the TV. We don't have any distortion. Perfect. As you can see, our cartridge is working just great. Let's go ahead and pop in the disc. There we go. It's Zelda. Loaded up nice and quick, just as it should. Go ahead and flip it over to side B. And there we go. Disc works great. Carts work great. We don't have any terrible sound anymore. Pretty successful fix. So the Twin Famicom is a really cool console. I prefer it over the Famicom and disk system. And as you can see, when it has issues, and this one had just about every issue that one can have, they're not really all that hard to fix. So don't let the technical faults scare you away from owning one. They're a great console to have. It's an all-in-one package. I love them. Come check us out at lostclassicvgs.com, where we sell reproductions, translations, prototypes, and sometimes we even fix old consoles. Thanks for watching this video. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you again.